Today is not just another date on the calendar. Today is a threshold, a moment where intention meets discipline, where awareness meets action, where your inner authority rises and takes command of the day ahead. This morning is not asking for your permission to unfold. It is waiting for your decision to lead it. You are not here to react. You are here to direct. You are not here to survive the hours. You are here to shape them. As this day begins, center yourself, still the noise, collect your focus. This moment is yours to establish order in your thoughts, clarity in your emotions, and strength in your resolve. When you begin your day aligned, the world responds differently. Your words carry weight. Your posture carries confidence. Your choices carry momentum. You are the authority of your day the moment you become conscious of your first thought. Before the world places demands on your attention, you already hold the power to decide what will lead your actions. Your day does not begin when others speak to you. It begins when you choose how you will show up mentally, emotionally, and energetically. Authority starts internally, and when you claim it early, everything that follows aligns more easily with intention rather than reaction. Being the authority of your day means you do not surrender control to moods, distractions, or external pressures. You understand that emotions are signals, not commanders, and you choose response over impulse. When something unexpected arises, you pause, you assess, and you act from clarity instead of chaos. This ability to govern your reactions is one of the highest forms of personal power. When you take authority over your day, you also take responsibility for your focus. You decide what deserves your energy and what does not. You stop allowing every notification, every opinion, and every interruption to dictate your rhythm. Focus becomes a deliberate act, and through that focus, you begin to experience progress that feels stable rather than scattered. Authority over your day requires discipline in thought. You do not allow negative inner narratives to dominate your mental space. When doubt tries to settle, you challenge it with evidence of your capability. When fear attempts to slow you down, you counter it with intentional action. Your mind becomes a place of direction, not confusion. As the authority, you also choose the pace of your day. You are not rushed by urgency that is not aligned with purpose. You understand that calm decision-making produces stronger outcomes than frantic movement. By regulating your pace, you protect your clarity and preserve your strength throughout the day. Taking authority means you honor your priorities even when it feels uncomfortable. You do what needs to be done before what feels easy. You resist the temptation of delay and avoidance because you understand that every postponed action weakens momentum. Each completed task reinforces your leadership over yourself. When you are the authority of your day, boundaries become natural. You recognize when to say yes and when to say no without guilt. You stop overextending yourself to meet expectations that do not align with your values. This self-respect creates space for meaningful progress and sustainable energy. Authority also shapes how you interpret setbacks. Instead of seeing obstacles as personal failures, you view them as information. You extract lessons, you adjust strategy, and you continue forward. Nothing that happens during the day defines you unless you allow it to interrupt your commitment to growth. As the authority, you decide the tone of your internal environment. You choose optimism grounded in action, not wishful thinking. You cultivate confidence through consistency rather than comparison. The way you speak to yourself sets the atmosphere for how the day unfolds around you. Being the authority of your day means you end it with intention as well. You review without judgment, you learn without shame, and you prepare without pressure. Each day becomes a training ground for greater clarity, greater discipline, and deeper self-leadership. Internal alignment creates external results when your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in the same direction. When there is no internal conflict, you stop wasting energy on hesitation and self-contradiction. Clarity replaces confusion, and decisions become easier because they are guided by a unified inner compass rather than competing impulses. When your inner world is aligned, you begin to act with consistency. You no longer feel motivated one moment and resistant the next. Your actions carry a steady rhythm because they are rooted in purpose instead of mood. This consistency builds trust in yourself, and that trust translates into visible progress. Alignment within means your values are no longer theoretical. They become operational. What you believe shows up in how you spend your time, how you communicate, and how you respond under pressure. When values and behavior match, the results you experience feel authentic and sustainable rather than forced. Internal alignment also sharpens focus. When your priorities are clear, distractions lose their appeal. You stop chasing outcomes that do not resonate with your long-term vision. Energy that was once scattered becomes concentrated, and that concentration amplifies the impact of every effort you make. Emotional alignment plays a critical role in shaping outcomes. When emotions are acknowledged but not allowed to dominate, you gain stability. You do not swing between extremes of overconfidence and self-doubt. This emotional steadiness allows you to navigate challenges without losing direction. Thought alignment determines the quality of your external environment. The narratives you repeat internally influence the choices you make daily. When your self-talk is constructive, your actions become confident. Confidence invites opportunities, and opportunities respond to preparedness. Alignment also creates integrity between intention and execution. You stop setting goals that do not match your willingness to act. Your plans become realistic because they are anchored in self-awareness. This integrity strengthens discipline and reduces the friction that often blocks progress. When you are internally aligned, you respond to external pressure with adaptability rather than resistance. Challenges do not derail you because your foundation is stable. You adjust strategies without losing sight of purpose, and this flexibility keeps momentum alive even in uncertainty. Internal alignment builds coherence in your presence. People sense when your words and actions are congruent. This coherence strengthens influence and credibility. External relationships improve because they are rooted in clarity rather than inconsistency or mixed signals. As alignment deepens, your external results begin to mirror your inner order. Progress feels less chaotic and more intentional. You recognize patterns of growth that are the direct reflection of disciplined thought, emotional regulation, and deliberate action. When the inner system is organized, the outer world responds accordingly. Effort becomes efficient, outcomes become predictable, and growth becomes a natural extension of who you are be. Internally, consistent, intentional action builds unstoppable momentum because progress is rarely the result of a single dramatic effort. It is created through repeated choices made with awareness and commitment. When action becomes a daily practice rather than an occasional burst of motivation, movement continues even when enthusiasm fluctuates. Consistency trains the mind to expect follow-through. Each time you act as planned, you reinforce trust in yourself. This self-trust reduces resistance and hesitation, making the next action easier to initiate. Momentum begins internally before it ever becomes visible externally. Intentional action means every step has purpose. You are not moving randomly or reacting to circumstances. You act with clarity, knowing why each effort matters. Purpose transforms effort into direction, and direction prevents wasted energy. When consistency and intention work together, small actions accumulate into significant progress. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable because you are no longer focused on the entire journey, only on the next deliberate step. Over time, these steps create measurable growth. Momentum thrives on routine. When action is scheduled rather than negotiated, it becomes part of your identity. You stop asking whether you feel ready and start acting because it is who you are. Identity-based action sustains progress even during periods of doubt or fatigue. Intentional repetition refines skill and sharpens focus. Each action provides feedback, allowing you to adjust and improve. Momentum does not require perfection, it requires engagement. The willingness to act, learn, and act again keeps movement alive. Consistent action also weakens fear. Fear loses influence when it is repeatedly challenged by experience. As you act despite uncertainty, confidence grows naturally. Confidence then fuels further action, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of progress. Momentum accelerates when actions align with long-term vision. Short-term effort gains meaning because it serves a larger purpose. This connection keeps discipline strong and prevents burnout. You are no longer pushing yourself, you are advancing towards something that matters. As momentum builds, external resistance decreases. Tasks that once required effort begin to feel natural. Discipline transforms into flow, and progress feels less forced. What once required willpower now runs on habit and clarity. Unstoppable momentum is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet, steady, and reliable. It is built through showing up again and again, acting with intention, even when results are not immediately visible.